Yo, what's up, Pisces? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of March 2018. A lot of important astrology going on this month. We've got two full moons, so this is happening again. We just had two full moons back in January. The one was the super blue blood moon. That was the lunar eclipse. That was the second one in January. But now we're having two full moons again in the month of March. So that's two blue moons in one calendar year. It's pretty significant because it's not going to happen again for another 19 years, so you can see how substantial that is. And we've also got Jupiter, which is going to go retrograde on March 8th, and we have Mercury, which is going retrograde on March 22nd, and the Sun is going to be in your sign all throughout the first 3 weeks of March, Pisces. So this is your month. The focus is on you, and the Sun being in this area, this is a time of new beginnings for you, Pisces. So you can't have a new beginning in your life until you get rid of whatever no longer fits your life. So don't clog up your new beginnings with any outdated baggage. It's time to take your eyes off of the rearview mirror, Pisces, because potentially there's some kind of new beginning that's trying to manifest itself in your life. And if you're jamming it up with outdated garbage and baggage, then it's gonna be a difficult time for you. So just remember that, and the Sun's gonna shift on March 20th. It's going to move into an area that has more to do with your money situation. So the focus is going to be more about your money in the last week of March and moving forward. So the first 3 weeks is going to be more of a focus on you. You're going to be getting attention. You're in the spotlight. And then the Sun will shift on March 20th. It's going to be more about your money. But those are the main themes for you, Pisces, for the month of March 2018. Now I'm going to talk about some more specific major astrological events that are set to occur this month and what they mean for you. Right off the bat, on March 1st, there's a full moon. And this full moon has to do with your relationship. So this is going to manifest in different ways. Not all Pisces are going to experience the same things. This full moon, if your relationship's going great, maybe this is going to be some kind of positive development for your relationship. So maybe a precipitation of potentially taking your relationship to the next level, depending on where you are in your relationship. Now, the adverse could occur too. If you've been struggling in your relationship, or you've really had to deal with difficult circumstances in your relationship, then following March 1st, Pisces, if this leads to a breakup, it is what it is, because it just means there's someone better who's coming into your life moving forward. So I'm not saying all Pisces are going to go breaking up following March 1st, but it is a possibility for some of you. Now, for others of you, potentially maybe in your relationship, this is a blip, you go over it and you're good. And if you're single, then I'm not saying someone's definitely going to enter your life for a relationship following March 1st, but potentially they might. And on March 4th, Mercury will align with Venus in your sign. This is a great day. Mercury's in your sign, so this is a great day for you to communicate about yourself. And you have Venus in your sign too. So, Venus is making you magnetic, and especially if you're single, this is a great day about communicating about yourself to someone you're romantically attracted to. So the right person for you, Pisces, is someone who likes to hear you talk, somebody who wants to hear you talk about yourself. So if you know anybody in your life that's like that, or wants to hear about what you have to say, then potentially this person might be a good fit for you. On March 8th, Jupiter is going to start to retrograde, and it's going to retrograde in this area that has to do with faraway places, foreign cultures, spirituality. So all three things that I just mentioned are important while Jupiter's in this area. It's been in this area since the fall of 2017. And I'm not saying all of you have been somewhere far away since Jupiter's been in this area, but potentially maybe a few of you have. So if you haven't, then potentially maybe some of you will between now, and Jupiter will be in this area until November 2018. So I'm not guaranteeing that all Pisces are going to distant locations potentially, between now and November 2018 while Jupiter is transiting this area of faraway places for you. But, some of you might. And Jupiter is going to be retrograding in this area from March 8th until July 10th. And I feel like R for retrograde, R for review. Some of you potentially reviewing R for retrograde, R for review, reviewing your spiritual perspective. So, this area has a lot to do with spirituality. So, potentially whatever spiritual belief you had before, there might be some sort of R for retrograde, R for revision, and that's pretty specific. I'm not saying all of you are, and all Pisces, you're all into different types of spirituality. You naturally are a spiritual person. You are a sign of spirituality. And some of you, maybe you're more into an organized type of religion, and obviously I feel like whoever's watching this video might be more into an alternative method of spirituality, which is more like an astrology, numerology, tarot. So most likely, if you're watching this video, you're into more of the aforementioned as opposed to a traditional spirituality. But all Pisces are different, so this is a very spiritual time for you, Pisces. Between now and up until November 2018. And like I said, not all of you are going to be going to a faraway place during that time, but some of you might. And for others of you, this might have to do with, potentially someone from a cultural background that's different from yours, or, somehow someone with a prominent heritage might stand out in your life between now and then. Or potentially this just has to do with, your fascination with foreign cultures. On March 11th, Mars will aspect Uranus positively, and this might be, some of you might have, Mars can be a sexual attraction, so some of you might have a sexual attraction to someone who you know from your career and someone who you know from the area of where you earn your money. And, with Mars and Uranus is like really unexpected. So, potentially some of you, there's something that's really unexpected happening here on March 11th. This is a great day for you. If you are attracted to somebody in your career, then maybe you want to just like spontaneously like flirt with them or engage with them, or, whatever you got to do. But that's going to resonate differently for each of you on March 11th. On March 13th, the sun will aspect Jupiter, which is retrograding. Once again, potentially some of you, R for retrograde, R for return. This is really specific, but maybe some of you are going back to a faraway place that you've been to before, and that's very specific, so that's not going to be the case for all of you. But for others of you, this might have to do with more of a spiritual thing. For others of you, this might have to do with foreign cultures potentially. For a few of you, it might have to do with something about a distant location. On March 17th, there's a new moon in your sign. It's going to hit on March 17th, and the way the new moon works, 6 months that follow March 17th. Now, all of a sudden, you got some new beginnings that are developing in your life, Pisces. So, get rid of that baggage. Get rid of whatever's outdated in your life. If something's no longer working, then there's no reason for you to clog up this new beginning that's trying to develop in your life over the next 6 months. So this is all about, Pisces 1.0 is on the way out. Get rid of Pisces 1.0 because the new and improved Pisces 2.0 is in development, and you're going to see, potentially some of you are going to see some new beginnings that are starting to develop in your life in the 6 months that follow March 7th, the new moon that's going to occur on March 17th in your sign. On March 22nd, we've got Mercury, which is going retrograde. It's going to retrograde from March 22nd until April 15th. It's going to retrograde in an area that has to do with your money situation. So, Mercury is about conversation. Mercury is about thought. So, potentially some of you might be thinking about something about your money again. You've thought of it before. Now, all of a sudden, following March 22nd until April 15th, while Mercury's retrograding, you're R for retrograde, R for revision. Some of you might be revising something about your money. Maybe you're trying to find ways to, cut the fat. Like, where's the unnecessary expenditures that you can do away with potentially? That's a great time for revising your money situation. Others of you are having conversations about money that you've had before during this time. And if, potentially for some of you, there might be a delay of some sort regarding your money. So, if you're seeing a delay of some sort regarding your money, or, potentially, I'm not saying it's very specific. Maybe some of you are expecting a payout of some sort. If you are, then you may not get it till after Mercury begins to move forward following April 15th when it starts to go forward again on March 25th. Venus will aspect Jupiter retrograding. So, some of you might have a romantic attraction to someone who you know from the area of where you earn your money. Now, for others of you, this might be making adjustments like travel expenses potentially. So, Jupiter's in this area of faraway places. And like I said, it's a very specific thing. But, if you are trying to go somewhere far away, potentially maybe you're adjusting your budget for this trip. So double check your itinerary. And on March 31st, there's going to be a full moon So this is going to be the blue moon. So it's the second full moon for the month of March. Again, here we go. So this one has to do with the shared resource situation. It's going to be different for all Pisces. If your shared resource situation is great, excellent. Then this full moon is going to hit on March 31st. Now a positive development coming in regarding your shared resource situation. It's coming in sometime after the blue moon, full moon on March 31st. Now for others of you, like I said, if this is a struggle, if this shared resource situation in your life is a struggle, potentially this is going to precipitate some kind of change. Maybe you're going to go in a bump, you're going to hit a bump, you go over it, you're good. Others of you, you're splitting the shared resource situation or splitting someone who you have combined finances with potentially, and that's very specific. Not all Pisces are going to go through that. If you're single, maybe, I'm not saying there's definitely going to be someone who's going to come into your life and following this full moon who you're eventually going to share your resources with. But, for others of you, this might precipitate some developments in your sex life too. So that's all for you this month, Pisces. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram, Gregory Furlan Astrology. Make sure to follow me there. Thank you for watching. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time.